Hi there, EXP agents. My name is Wilson Solomon. I'm an enterprise customer success manager here at Lofty. It's good to be meeting with you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. We're going to be connecting with you today. It sounds like on Monday, a couple days ago, if any of you were able to join the call then, I went through with Brian Hoyleman on our team, as well as Phil Wallace, to go through why choose Lofty. So I think they did kind of more of a demo, kind of some of the positioning around what makes Lofty valuable, and just went through a few kind of basic features as far as screen sharing goes. So today's session, we're going to actually get into more, we typically call this kind of CRM part one, your getting started session. So going through and reviewing like the dashboard, user profile setup, some of the basic things as a Lofty agent that you'll want to know how to do when getting in and using the platform. So the format for today, I'm actually have Pete, as you can see here on the call with me. He's our one of our onboarding specialists, great inside Lofty. He's going to be going through that CRM part one training with you. Just as questions arise that you guys have during the call, feel free to drop them into the chat. We'll find probably some time where we can get into those questions, answer those for you throughout the training. Typically try to leave a few minutes at the end as well to just ask general questions that may have come up for you throughout the training. So if they're relevant to a specific topic or anything we're covering at the time, like I said, just pop those into the chat. We'll make sure we get them answered. And then any other just general questions, know that we'll leave some time for you at the end. So do appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, agents there at EXP. Again, my name is Wilson. Feel free to ask us any questions throughout, but I'll go ahead with that said and turn it over to Pete to be able to get inside Lofty and go through some of these settings with you. Thanks,
Perfect.
Pete.
Of course, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Pete. Before we get started, Wilson, can you see this red box I'm drawing? No.
So on your screen?
Yeah. No. Okay. Might be better if I just do it this way. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. So it makes it a lot easier for everyone to follow along. Entire window. Go ahead and entire screen. Let's do it that way. Okay. Can you see it now? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Pete. I'm going to show you a little bit about the dashboard, a little bit about the people section, because that's primarily where you guys are going to spend most of your time in. If you guys, for whatever reason, you log in and you see something different, you want to get to the dashboard, go ahead and hit this left side button that says Lofty. That'll take you right to the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is designed to save you time. So everything that you see here and below will correspond to some function up here. Now, obviously, we want you to use Lofty as much as possible throughout the entire year. So if you think about it, how many times we save you by reducing the amount of clicks, that adds up to minutes and hours and days over the course of the year. And I'll get into a little bit about that later. Okay, so this is a demo account, so not everything's going to be one-to-one, but I want to show you what a live account looks like. This is your lead section, so that corresponds with this. If there was a new lead, it would say number one or how many leads that came in through your funnel. If you ever get into the people section and you don't see any of your leads, you probably have a filter on. So you can go ahead and erase that, and all your leads will pop up. Okay. And so basically what I just said also applies to opportunity. So one thing about the Lofty system is that we also have something called lead score. The lead score is made up of 5 different characteristics, and we'll lightly touch upon that later. You can't change those characteristics, but because of the CRM is integrated with the website as well as the IDX, any lead behavior is tracked and it is calculated on your CRM. Right. So the reason why is because we want to provide you actionable data so you can, have better touch points. So just for instance, since we're on the topic, let me go ahead and sort this a little bit. The first name. Let's go by lead score. Okay, perfect. So you can see just by looking at these two columns that these users are very, very active. with all your marketing material, because whenever they engage with your marketing material in any way, shape, or form, or your website, it all gets tracked and it increases this score right here. Very helpful to know that your efforts aren't being wasted, right? Okay, you can also set your task slash to-do list. I'm sure we all, know how to use the calendar. I will say this task feature does not have the feature of a recurring task. So if you want to reach out to a client every, 2 weeks, whatnot, uh, we don't have that feature. But what we do have is you can set a smart plan and you can automate that feature. So let's say EXP says you got to reach out to your clients every 2 weeks, whatnot, blah, blah. You can create a smart plan or workflow that does automation for you. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out. Nice little tips and tricks. Smart listings right here. So I'm sure many of you guys have your own listings, whatnot, that you'd like to monitor at a glance to see the metrics, whether, how many views, how many people saved it, how many scheduled walkthroughs, or how many leads does this particular listing match, right? So you can look at all the information at a view. You can also, use these buttons out here to share it to different platforms, or just anything related to marketing. You can do all that from here. And again, this section here corresponds with this section right there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to give you like a overall crash through course of how your day-to-day is going to look like. If you guys ever have a question or anything like that at any point in time, don't forget you do have this handy dandy Lofty Help Center that I like to call Lofty YouTube. If we click into that, they'll open up another screen, and then you can look at all of the videos that we have about, transactions, about smart plans, about CRM part 1. All the information will live in here. These are all videos that you can access at any point. Okay. Okay, since our time is limited, let's jump into the People's tab, so you know how your pipeline will look like and what you can do. Okay. So the People's tab is broken up into 3 sections. You have your view, right, which is basically your saved filters. You have your journey, or your pipeline stages, and then you have your columns and rows. Now, I'm sure we all know what pipeline management looks like. So let's get into an actual um, lead profile. Let's use Kimberly Dang. And so again, as an agent, you're gonna spend a lot of time in each individual lead's profile. So I want you guys to know what it looks like so you guys can navigate. And I don't want you guys to ever be afraid to click buttons. You guys cannot break this software. And if you guys have any issues at any point, you have your contacts at Lofty, so we can actually help you out. And you also have support as well. Okay. So this button right here, let's call these the 3 hot buttons, right? So these 3 hot buttons, again, all correspond with some function up here. And what these 3 hot buttons do is that it pulls the information from the user profile, and then it applies it to whatever you want. So let's say we want to create a CMA for Kimberly. All right. I click 2 buttons, the hot button and the create CMA, and then it pulls up. Can you guys see my screen now? Yeah, okay, perfect. It pulls up a different tab, and then it pulls all of her information, as well as prices in her area, and it creates something to send to her. I did 2 buttons for that. Versus, right? You got to go to marketing. Then you have to scroll down. It's because I work at Lofty. I know where CMA is. It's not under CMA. It's under Lofty Presents. I don't know why, but create CMA, blah blah. So again, to do this manually, it will take several different clicks. If you're creating multiple CMAs throughout the day, throughout the week, whatnot, that's a lot of time. Whereas you can just go to the individual lead's profile, click 2 buttons, and send it off just like that. That's how we save you time, especially over the course of a year. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to Kimberly's. So another way to find Kimberly is you can also use this magnifying glass here to find her and pull her up like that. Okay, so scroll down again, tags, 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 tags. What the software does, it allows you ultimate freedom to customize your data how you want to, as well as, organize it. Right. So if you know that you have a bunch of dog lovers in a specific area and you have a perfect house that is great for dog lovers, you can just add a little tag to all the dog lovers, and when you filter it out, you can send them specific marketing material, either through the pipeline section or people section or the segment section. And I'll tell you the difference between both of those in a second. This is the lead score, like I said. And if you're really into the data of um, y- your clients, right, into like the leads and whatnot, go ahead and you take a look at that, because if you really want your clients to engage with the information, use this as your divining rod. I think it's divining rod. Like this will be your North Star, because if I know that my client does not text message or does not reply to text message, I will never text them, right? I will always give them a call because I want them to respond. Okay. And this is why information like that is important, because it makes your efforts much more effective. Okay. It's no longer trial and error. It's quantifiable. Okay. Um, let's jump into the segment section. So segments is great because let's say that again you have open house and you want to send specific marketing information to the people that join your open house. So let's just jump into past clients. What you can do is that you can put them all on automation. You can send them, whatever smart plan, email, welcome email, feelers, whatnot, and you put that all on automation. You can also hit this little drop down button right here. Let me highlight that for you guys, and select current page or all leads. So let's just do current page, make it simple. And then you have this bevy of options: mass email, mass text, update consent, or more. Excuse me, sent to dialer. All these tools are available to you. Why is that important? Because again, you can track your marketing efforts, how many people viewed it, how many people searched, how many people left messages. Everything will be tracked. And why is that good? Is because you can use information to improve and always get better, and really tailor your message to your clients. Okay. How am I doing on time? Good. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to create a segment, right there, add new, very standard. What I didn't go over is if you want to add any leads, right, manually, like a single lead, add lead right there. Or if you want to add bulk leads, these three dots right here, these little hot buttons, and import leads, just like that. Okay. The other area where you guys might spend a little more time in as well is, let's go to settings a little bit. Actually, you guys won't spend that much time in settings, but let me just go over that. So this is your profile settings. And as someone who works here, things like that, I do know the admin of the account typically, so I'm going to go to company profile. So if you're the head of the account, whatnot, sometimes your home address will actually be displayed on the on some information that you send out. If you want to get rid of that, go ahead and hit the action button here, and you just remove it from. Actually, it would be in this area right here. So that's a little tip that I've seen, or not tip. That's a little issue that I've seen before. Is that sometimes your home address is listed there. If you want to remove it from the website and any other material, go ahead and move it right there. So that's a fun little tip. If you have any integrations that you want, right? So you just go down to your personal profile, integrations, and you can add them or connect them right here. Now, if you don't see your integrations or another app that you like to use, you can go ahead and go to the marketing or marketplace. I'm sorry. And this, think of this as our Lofty App Store, where you can start looking up for different app integrations. I think we have, is it follow up? Oh, no, we have Mojo. Yeah, that's right. So again, if you already have Mojo, things like that, you can connect that as well. If you don't see a app that you use, but you know that your app allows for a API integration, luckily for you, we have this right here. So all you need to do is copy and paste this token into that field, and then it will be able to connect that way. So again, we have a really robust system. And I don't want you guys to get too lost. But again, I want you guys to poke around and enjoy the all the tools that you guys have. You guys won't need all the tools, but it's nice to know that if you need that special tool to fix the situation, you have it. Okay, if you guys want to learn more about any of these tools at any point, you can always go down to the handy dandy help button, and you can get live training or live tutor, if you will. Right here, get training. Now, this is a demo account. And so normally you can go to the calendar function and do this, but this demo account doesn't show that. But remember, go to help button, scroll down, get training, and now you have access to all the live trainings throughout the week, right? And you can filter them different ways. Let's say you want to learn more about smart plans. Boom, just like that. You see the time, the date, you can sign up. Just make sure you click it and hit accept. Okay. Perfect. Let's hop back to the Lofty section. Do you guys have any questions so far? Okay. But you guys, I don't see any questions right now. If you guys have any questions, last second questions, but again, please feel free to type them into the chat. I'd love some time at the end of this presentation to make sure that we get those, those burning questions answered. But if you guys don't have any good questions, or sorry, good question, if you guys don't have any questions, that means I did a good job explaining, the basics of Lofty.
Mute yours real quick.
Yeah, mine's muted.
One thing, Pete, maybe if you can, I know we got into the question mark, kind of showing where the live trainings are. Maybe just the different options within that question mark up at the top right there, just accessing like the help center in different areas. I think that would be good for some of these newer agents.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this question mark. So Lofty does spend a lot of time, money, and resources on making sure that the people that want to use Lofty will always have access to answers and to getting things done in an effective manner, right? So this question mark is your go-to, right? So you can chat with our handy dandy AI and or support, right? So let's say that you want to know something about print campaigns. What are the cost of print campaigns? And then so what's happening right now is Lofty has an internal help bot, right? And what it is, or not bot, AI, is looking through our Lofty help desk and Wikipedia page, basically, and it's looking for everything related to smart to print campaigns, and it's compiling that in a paragraph or two. And at the end of that, it's going to hyperlink where it got the information from, just like that. Now you can ask the AI anything about any of these topics, and even if you're having a problem, it'll try to dive deeper. Now, the AI can't help you. What it's going to do is going to refer you to live support. Okay. But yeah, you can ask it away any question, right? It's not bad. It's pretty cool, right? So let's go back to the help section. This right here is our live Wikipedia. Not live Wikipedia. This is our Wikipedia page, basically. And what it is just help articles with pictures and words that help talk about any topic, right? Some people like to learn through videos. Some people like to read and see the diagram. So we have both options for both people. Okay. Again, all the information will be right here. The Learning Center, I showed you how to access it earlier through the dashboard, but another way to access it is by hitting the help button and then going there. Now, again, this is our Lofty YouTube, if you will, right? So we have other videos besides just, training videos on how to do certain functions. But if you want to see what it looks like, you click on that. It's going to take you through 2 more clicks. And the reason why I want to show you guys how how to get there is because I don't want you guys to get stuck or be afraid to click buttons, right? Again, these buttons can't hurt you, but the volume can apparently if you're not ready for that. So you have all of the videos that we have available to you all on the left side. You can scroll through. So let's say you can't make a live webinar, but you know you can. You have like 30 minutes randomly, so you can just hop on and learn about smart plans or the dialer or something else that's going to make you more effective using the Lofty software that makes you ultimately more effective servicing your client. Okay. Suggested feature is pretty cool. I don't know what other SaaS companies or software out there allows you to do this, but we have a feature that say that if you think that your suggestion or like a tool addition would make Lofty better, not just for you, but for everyone, go ahead and suggest a feature. It's pretty cool because we actually take those seriously. And when you do that, we put you into a not put you into, but like you can see of all of the other clients and real estate agents out there that suggested really good tools and integrations. And then the next tab over, you can see the ones that we are actually implementing and the ones that we already did. So we are listening to you guys, and your feedback is definitely valuable. So by all means, please, 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 feedback, feedback, feedback. And if you see something that will make this product more robust and better and easier to use, please go ahead and share it here. Okay. Once you are done with onboarding, you will have access to the user community, which is Facebook community of just other agents, across the nation, and they share best tips and tricks and things like that, right? So it's on Facebook. It's about 10,000 or so people. It's really active. It's monitored, every single day. So again, highly recommend that you guys just really throw yourselves at the CRM because it is highly rewarding. Okay. If you ever have an issue, whatnot, and like let's say you need help with support, and you don't, and you feel like you just felt like you just shotgun your request out into the ether, you can always follow it up by checking your tickets section, and that's what this section is for. Is that if you talk to support and they create a ticket number for you, you can follow that up right here. Again, this is a demo account, so we just want to illustrate that, we like to keep track of everything because if it's not resolved, there will be a text thread and, we can escalate things if we want to. Okay. I already showed you the Get Training, which is the live webinars earlier. And yeah, that basically covers this help button. Like it's really unassuming because most apps never click this help button, but I promise you this is probably the most helpful help button I've ever seen. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Thanks, Pete, for walking through that too. I know I know as new agents there at EXP, I mean, it's a familiarity thing. So getting in here, as Pete's encouraged, going through some of these steps, importing any contacts, any leads you have. Some of those things are the early on stages and basic setup of getting into Lofty and feeling comfortable. So definitely encourage the agents on this call to do that. Take some steps, take some time to get your Lofty setup and going. So then it's just easier to get into the actual functionality that's going to save you time throughout your day. But yeah, for the most part, those are kind of the initial CRM, getting started dashboard items that we wanted to cover with you today. I'm not sure, just based on the platform we're on for this video call. I don't see any comments in the comment section or questions from anyone right now. I believe on the EXP side, just communication with them. These calls are recorded. They will be hosted within an area there for EXP agents to access and review on their own time frame as well. Was there anything myself, most of it would have been Pete, but anything we covered today that anyone had any questions about? Any steps you maybe got held up in your own user setup for the initial access to Lofty? See if anything maybe comes in here. One thing I did want to share as well, I know Pete talked a little bit, just again, keeping it more focused today around CRM settings and dashboard overview and some of the initial setup. He referenced, I think, earlier when he was speaking in regards to things like smart plans. Smart plans are campaigns, automated campaigns within Lofty that allow you to save yourself. They're really a shortcut to saving time. So there's a number of different ways you can use smart plans to automate processes for you as an agent. The reason I'm bringing that up now is we will be getting into those more within the next week and a half. There's a schedule for these trainings that we want to make sure are digestible and easy for the XP agents to get the most out of. But just as a heads up, we will be getting some of the more exciting and fun features within Lofty. Some of the stuff we covered today may seem a little mundane, a little boring, but it is important to have that set up properly before getting into some of the actual meat and potatoes of our platform, if you will. Smart plans can be robust. They can do a lot for you, but there's also some basic general automation that we will show you with regards to smart plans. So that's coming. We have some really good calls trainings ahead for EXP agents around functionality, as well as just understanding, how Lofty is valuable, how we maybe shine in comparison to some of the other options platforms out there, so that you've used or are currently using. So, as far as I can see here, I don't see any other questions rolling in. We didn't have a whole lot more to cover in regards to the features, functionality within this particular area of Lofty. Wanted to keep it kind of bite-sized for the agents. So we'll maybe give it another minute or two, see if any other questions roll in. And if not, we can probably give you guys a little bit of your time back for the today.
I do want to jump in right quick. Going back to what he said about the smart plan. So what's really cool about smart plans is that, like, again, we know how busy you guys are. And I'm also like you guys, I don't want to reinvent the wheel if I don't have to. So let's jump into smart plans. Now, I'm not a whiz or anything about smart plans, but what's cool is that you do have these smart plans that's already created for you, that you can filter, that you can edit your cells and kind of tweak to make them work how you want them to work, right? And they're already set up for you. All you need to do is just turn them on, right? And you tweak them just enough, it automatically saves it for you as well. So again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And we already do that for you. And guess what? It's free. You get, whether you guys use them or not, they're already there. So highly recommend, if you guys are all about workflow and optimization, and just, you guys spending more time servicing your clients, building your relationships, and not dealing with the back end stuff. Definitely use smart plans. They're free. They're already there. You might as well, dig in a little bit. Again, you have drip campaigns as well to make sure that you can nurture anyone that is not quite ready to jump in. Okay, just wanted to give my 2 cents there. I'll hand it back over to Wilson. Thank you.
No, I appreciate you saying that, Pete, just because, they are a hot topic. You'll hear, as you're in Lofty more, you'll hear more about smart plans. They're commonly used. They're really the heart of the automation motor, if you will. So those are great points to bring up, Pete, just because as new users in Lofty, these agents on the XP side, don't be intimidated by smart plans. It's a matter of getting in and using it. We want to give new agents an opportunity to jump in and have something to build off of, versus, like Pete mentioned, not having to reinvent the wheel from the start there on each automation or each campaign, if you will, that needs to be set up. So definitely encourage you. Like I said, we'll be getting into that more. All of these will be recorded. All of these will be accessible after the fact as well on the XP side. But yeah, we're excited to have you guys on board. We're excited to be working with more of the XP agent side and seeing how we can best show you value within the system and get you guys up and going and using this tool. So it doesn't look like we're getting any other questions in just yet, which isn't super uncommon, especially if we've got new users, new agents on the call. Sometimes you're just kind of processing what's in front of you, and some of the stuff might be pretty straightforward and easy for those listening and attending the call today. So hope that's the case. Pete did an excellent job explaining some of these CRM settings and getting started process within the dashboard. So thank you, Pete. Thank you, admins on the EXP side, for setting this up. We'll maybe wait like another minute or so, see if anything trickles in question-wise, and then we'll go ahead and hop off and give you guys that time back.